Hey, what's up, everybody? Yellowjackets Buzz. What is up, Citizen Detectives, Antler Queens, and other members of the Hive? Here we are. It is episode 2, season 3. We're doing these back to back because the episodes drop back to back. I'm Glenn Rubenstein, joined by Issa, NYC Demon Diva, and hey, we got 2 episodes for the start of season 3, which is lovely.
You love to see it. I needed that. I don't think that I would have had. I mean, episode 1 was a banger, but I needed a little extra fix. They made us wait a while, so I'm glad they gave us 2 episodes, but I'm glad the rest are gonna be slowly released because I also don't want it to end too soon.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
No, yeah, we got 2 months of having Yellowjackets back. I think the show's going to get renewed for season 4. Quite frankly, even though I think ratings took a little bit of a dip in season 2 and there's been a gap that might affect season 3 ratings, I don't know yet. We won't know that anytime soon, but what other hits does Showtime have right now?
I think they're doing an excellent job with the marketing on this. I've seen it everywhere. I think they're pushing for people to remember it and see it, and you can watch all the other seasons on Paramount Plus to catch up if you're new to it. If you're just now finding it, it really is a good show. I just think it's being hurt by the circumstances because I do think I think if it would have came out back to back to back, it would have been probably one of their biggest shows.
Yeah. No, and I think look, the strike definitely didn't help. The dual strikes definitely didn't help. So
but I feel like I see marketing for this season more than I did season 2. This one to me, and I wasn't looking it up. It's shown up for me at random places everywhere. I think our good friend Stellar Justin Lopez tagged us yesterday. It was all over his movie theater. Like, they're doing a good job at putting it everywhere, like in your face. I saw it in Puerto Rico in a billboard like the other day, and I'm like, oh my God, like they really are making an effort to make sure people know that it's coming back.
Cool. Well, let's jump right into episode 2, Dislocation. And we didn't mention in the last episode that episode 1 was called It Girl, a little bit of a play on Pit Girl, which is great. And episode 2 opens with Mari as the girl in the pit.
Yep.
With a dislocated knee.
Well, she thought she broke it.
She thought she broke it. It's just dislocated. And what's interesting is she is crying for help at the start of this episode. She has bought full into the narrative that Coach Ben set the cabin on fire and wants to murder them all. And now he has trapped her and going to murder her. She says, if you're going to kill me, make it quick. And he's like, what? I'm going to kill you. Come on. Like, this is not what's happening here.
I would have thought the same thing, though. She doesn't know. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get it. I mean, it's tense. She rips open her pant leg to reveal her knee. She thinks it's broken. He says, no, it's dislocated. And then Coach Ben is coaching because he's telling her how to pop it back in. Issa, have you ever had to pop something back into place?
A couple of times.
Really? Like what?
My shoulder.
Wow. Lethal Weapon style.
Yeah. It's nothing.
Okay. See, you saw that as a kid when I watched like Lethal Weapon 1, which I've only seen half of. But I was like, oh, as an adult, I'm going to have to like pop my shoulder back into place.
Listen, not that the audience needs to know this, but I'm double jointed like everywhere. So I have like this weird flexibility where my bones do weird things. And I never forget the first time I popped my shoulder out was like trying to like, oh, look what I can do because I'm double jointed. Next thing I know, it was like, and I'm like, well, I don't think that was supposed to happen. But my mom coached me through putting it back in place.
Oh, wow. That's exciting. So Mari snaps it back into place, which so difficult to watch. And then we cut to Shauna digging up the grave of her child who did not make it through childbirth, and having a flashback to finding out that her child didn't make it through childbirth. And of course, she had the hallucination dream sequence in season 2, which was heartbreaking to watch. I have to admit, at first I didn't know where this was going, and I was like, oh my God, is this gonna be like the thing with the mouse all over again? And we're gonna have Shauna with her stillborn child all season. Yeah. But no, Shauna wanted to bury the child privately in a place where the group could not co-op his death and make it part of their freaky nature rituals. She wants her privacy.
As she deserves that.
It's nice. It's nice that she has like a secret site to mourn this. I think this is a good step towards Shauna having, certainly not healing, but at least finding some way to personally reconcile this.
Agreed.
After the credits, people are talking about the screaming from the night before, and they're asking, did everyone hear it? And they were like, oh, maybe it was Mari being eaten. They asked Shauna. Shauna's like, why are you asking me? Obviously she's the number one suspect. But then there's a discussion of a search party to go find her. They're asking Shauna. Natalie asked Shauna to go with her, and Shauna's like, I'm not going to look for her, so she's out. And
you said F Mary.
Yeah, I know.
I love her attitude. She's more direct than me, and that's hard for me to say.
Yeah, Travis is then offering to help, but Lottie needs him for something because she wants to get him high.
She's just trying to
get him high to commune with nature and communicate with it.
This is the beginning of cult leader Lottie.
Yes. Well, I feel like she's been on the path for a while, but now
this is true. But this is her practicing with him,
It's interesting that Natalie is the Antler Queen. It's kind of like if there's a company, I feel like Natalie is like the COO and Lottie's like the CEO. The Antler Queen is like the chief operations officer, one who makes sure stuff gets done. Whereas Lottie is more about vision, literally. So yeah, it's an interesting dynamic. Present day, we got Jeff and Shauna catching up on everything that's going on, and Jeff saying that he needs Shauna that night for dinner that's happening. He's trying to woo a local boutique hotel chain to buy furniture from Sadecki Family Furniture. Mm-hmm. And
that goes well. We'll talk about it.
Yes, it's a huge contract. This is it's weird how they loop here's the funny thing about this show. And I want everybody to watch the show through this prism going forward. Shauna, her journey is about healing and reconciling past with present in pain, trauma, and what it means to juxtapose who you once were versus who you are. Jeff, however, is living in a situation comedy. He's living in a sitcom. Because all the Jeff plots, even from the wacky, we're staging a blackmail to we got to save the furniture store. Jeff is in a sitcom. That's Jeff's issues. This is like a weird version of Kevin Kneff himself, where Jeff is in a sitcom version where Shauna's in a drama.
Right. I love that, actually.
And if people,
but it was funny. Shauna walked right into that because she's like, "Oh, I just want things to go back to normal." And Jeff was like, "Oh, well, we have that dinner tonight," which she had completely forgotten about.
Yes, and I love that he calls her out, and I see your eyes, and you're trying to think of an excuse not to go.
That's marriage, though. Like, shouldn't you know each other that well? No, but you know each other so well that where it's just like, I know what you're doing.
Yeah. And I love that she's like, "Oh no, I'm not.
Oh, no. She was.
Yes. That's great. Yeah. Trying to say Callie has, but then someone's at the door, and wouldn't you know, much like a sitcom, they've got a crazy house guest. It's Lottie, and Shauna says, "Take your shit and get off my lawn."
So good. Boom, closes the door right on her face again.
And then I love that Lottie's still there and knocking.
Yeah.
She gets invited in, and this is so sitcom.
She doesn't get invited. She walks in.
In her mind, she was invited. No, Shauna says she brought her in to get off, so the neighbors wouldn't
call the cops.
Call the cops. Yeah. This is great. This is very sitcom 101 here.
Yes.
Man, it's and I love that they called her the goop sorceress. Yeah. Rambling about tree spirits. Call a car and go. But Lottie has nowhere to go. She's a temporarily, embarrassed millionaire. They do exist.
Yes.
Who, can't go back to her compound. I like it. She's got her designer little roller bag And she's out of the institution, the home for the differently
I
sane.
love that she wipes the chair. Like, first of all, the way that she looks at the house, and then she like wipes the couch before she sits down. I caught that.
Yeah.
She goes like, she looks at it and like just like make sure that it's clean before she sits her millionaire butt in that couch.
And then I love how Callie walks in on this, is like, what's going on? But Callie has like an open mind, like that we owe this to her. You know,
No, Callie's just trying to snoop.
But Callie shot her, so you know.
Yeah, but it's like really funny because she's like, okay, family meeting, and then Shauna and Jeff are like, absolutely not, and it's like Callie, the one trying to talk sense into them, like, you know, let she has nowhere to go, one night, whatever. But I know what Callie was trying to do the whole time.
Yeah, and Callie's saying we can't just tell her to get off our lawn, and she's saying your mom literally said that.
Yeah.
And it says
so good.
that you have good. Can I speak to a manager energy?
Which later on, like,
I know
this show is so good at calling back things that even happened in that episode. They did it with the Chronic on the first episode, and now they did it here with the talk to the manager energy. Oh, it's so manager. Good.
Yeah.
The comedy is very good. Like, the funny moments are funny, you know?
Yeah. It's good. It's good. I like how and I love family meeting. That's a very sitcom thing.
Yeah, no, nobody does that anymore.
I need to.
Do you have family meeting?
I'm gonna start saying we need to have family meetings with our cats. I'm gonna start saying family meetings.
I do it with my dog. I do. I said, Roman, we're gonna have a family meeting, and he barks and runs away.
Okay, there you go. But Jeff has a good point. Can't she find some purple person futon?
When he said purple person futon, I died.
Yeah. Oh man, it's and then Callie's saying, hey, if she's dangerous, what about the blackmail? What about you like killing your boyfriend? You know?
Yeah, like you're not good people. Why are you acting like you're not capable of doing worse than her?
We have 5 Datelines worth of problems.
Yeah.
5 days. And if Lottie's unwell, you know, let's add her to
Aren't we all? Aren't we all?
Aren't we all? Little
differently saying.
Goes a long way.
Differently saying, never forget.
Yeah, it's I mean, this is a little stretching believability, but it is. Yeah, it is what it is. It makes for good comedy.
Yes,
and it leads to some very fun situations in this episode.
Yes, it does.
You know, I hope she stays with them the entire season.
I don't know about that. She has money. She can get an Airbnb or something.
I know. But Jeff's like, hey, whatever, you can't bail on this dinner. He's like very focused on Jeff World.
Yeah, but they also say they can't leave Callie and Lottie together alone, so she has to come up with a solution, you know?
Yes, and I love, speaking of foreshadowing, Shauna saying this is one of those things where say it's not a hotel room, it's an experience. And he's like, of course they're going to say that.
Yeah, it's always an experience.
Yeah. Yeah, this is great. This is a very fun start to the episode, and I like how this plays out. Mm-hmm. And then we cut to Van, who's doing karaoke, singing Jamiroquai's Virtual Insanity. Just hanging out, you know?
So good.
Man, Lauren Ambrose is such a great addition to the cast.
Yes.
She's so much fun to watch in this role as Van.
The most perfect person they could have casted to play adult Van.
Yeah, she's really, really good in this, and I enjoy her and everything.
It's crazy how the chemistry in camera just plays out for the adult Taissa and Van the exact same way that, you know, the flashbacks Taissa and Van are. Like, they did such a good job with this. They're my faves.
And Van and Ty still high off the dine and dash and the passion that it unlocked in them.
I love that for them.
You know, as you get older and you settle down, you need to figure out what works.
Dying and dashing.
But Ty feels bad and wants to explain it and pay the bill. That's kind of nice.
No, because then it doesn't count.
Or no, rather Van wants Ty to do that. So Ty offers to do it. Yeah. But that's nice. I think that this moment, the little flirtation with them is great. Although as soon as you saw that glass on the floor, it was like, I know exactly where this is heading.
Yeah. Yeah, I felt bad. I felt bad here, and it was so funny. Van gave me flashbacks of me because that's just how I am. Which was, I'm like, yeah, you don't need to go to the doctor. And Tyson was like, I can't see inside your foot. Yeah.
Just watching this again, I've got this going right now, and I'm like, oh man, this is
And then 1, 2, 3, and put it on 2. So good. That's such a mom thing to do.
yeah, absolutely. But I think this is speculation. We all know why this setup is happening for Van to have gone to a hospital. I think we all know why this is there, given the events that happen. So yeah, Ty pulls the glass out of Van's foot, is saying like, because of your condition, because of everything, this can get infected. You have to go to the hospital and get this taken care of. So, and Van listens to her, which is nice.
I appreciated her listening.
I just would have tossed some hydrogen peroxide on it and just, gone with it.
Same. I would have just wrapped it and be like, okay, I'm good.
Yeah, I just got my Tdap booster. Like, I feel like I'm pretty good against random infection. So Sean is trying to call Ty to talk about the Lottie situation. Obviously, Ty is preoccupied with Van and the restaurant situation. Walter is trying to wake Misty up. Misty is in Hangoverville, and he's made her breakfast and a hangover remedy.
No, just let her sleep. That's it. Let her sleep.
Isn't it weird though that Walter in many ways is out Mistying Misty? Like Misty would have done this for Nat.
Yeah. Yes, actually I love the way that you look at it when you put it that way. Yes, you're absolutely right.
Yeah.
You know what? The bacon is a good idea. A bacon and a shot of whiskey is what she needed to be able to be up and going.
And I love
something greasy and a little bit of what you were drinking last night. That typically does the trick.
And I love that Misty slept with the leather jacket.
You know?
It's her security blanket now.
Mm-hmm.
It's who she is.
Yeah.
She's inhabiting that spirit. But yeah, I think and so Shauna can't get a hold of Ty. Shauna calls Misty because they need someone to watch Lottie.
Yes. Well, she tried Thaisa first. Thaisa ignored the call.
Yeah. And Walter makes a really bad mistake in that he's dissing the other girls.
Well, that's what I was telling you earlier when you said he really cares for our girl Misty. He does, but he also needs to accept her. These are people that she went through a traumatic experience with. She's never gonna let go of them, whether they're good friends or bad friends. It's a weird thing that whether he wants to or not, he's never gonna be able to understand. So if he really loves her, he's treading, you know what I mean? Like he needs to tread lightly when it comes to the girls.
And this is so well juxtaposed against this scene with a younger Misty and Shauna, and we see Misty having that same Walter energy back with teenage Natalie. Yes. Sorry, with Misty and Natalie. And I like how Misty says so many people have just randomly disappeared, like Crystal and Coach Scott. And it's like, Misty, you killed Crystal, girl. Like,
listen, selective memory is good for your mental health.
But I love that she just like keeps laying the groundwork to cover her tracks.
Yeah.
Yeah. But what's interesting about this is they're walking through here and Natalie is really, really laying down that she thinks Ben is dead. Mm-hmm. And it's interesting that Misty doubts the coach burning down the cabin.
Good.
Yeah, it's there's layers here to this,
like an onion.
Yeah, like peeling back the layers of an onion. Okay, so Mari is now in the pit. Her leg is fine. Coach Scott says, "I need to go and get you out of here." She's accusing Coach of burning down the cabin, and he's like, "What? The cabin burned down?" Which is good cover.
He didn't even know.
Yeah, well, so he says. I mean, if he burned it down, that would be the thing to say. Like, what cabin? I wasn't even aware.
Yeah, she said it burned down for weeks. You didn't even smell it. Yeah, and considering the fact that I don't think he went very far, she did have a good point.
Yeah, I don't know. It is interesting. Mm-hmm. So he goes to get some stuff to get her out, but then we cut back to the Sadecki residence where Misty shows up, and Jeff and Shauna are dressed up. They're getting ready to leave. And Misty is like, what? I'm not going with you. Like, we're not hanging out. I thought this was, like girl time. And essentially leaving Misty there to babysit Lottie, and to a
Yes.
lesser extent, Callie. But I love that Misty is saying, is this an intervention? Is this because of my drinking?
My drinking problem. She got drunk one night.
Yeah. This is great. I think that, okay, here's, and then like Sean's like, do I have a drinking problem? Misty's like, I don't know, do I? But here's my question about the show. And I think that they're trying to do both of these things. I would actually be happy if there was no larger mystery and literally this show was all just situations in the present of these characters hanging out. Like, I would watch a chronological show just about the 90s with what happened in the wilderness, and I would watch literally just like Survivors,
right?
Like a sitcom where they're navigating life
after surviving
after surviving, kind of like Aftermash, which I didn't realize until like last year, that the title of Aftermash, the series that followed MASH, was a play on the word aftermath. I was like, oh, I get it now. Also, by the way, it wasn't until like 2019 that I realized the Beatles' Rubber Soul, spelled, SOUL, like rubber sole on a shoe. Didn't put that 2 and 2 together on that either until recently. So sometimes I'm a little slow on the uptick. But yeah, I love this situation comedy of Misty's like, is this an intervention? No, Misty, you're babysitting. This needs a laugh track because this is such a good sitcom that we're seeing at home with the Sudeikis.
Right.
Jeff showing Lottie where the linens are, their terrific selection.
Yeah, so that Shauna can give Misty the lowdown.
Yeah. This is just so nice.
I love that Misty's like, so I'm here to babysit, and Shauna's like, no. Okay, yes, a little. She was babysitting. She was babysitting both of them. So
she said she trusts
her whole goal for the evening was do not allow Callie and Lottie to speak. That's it. That's not you would think that's not complicated to accomplish.
Yeah, you would think. But I think for Misty, the most important thing is that Shauna says she trusts Misty. That's huge.
And Misty screws that up.
Because remember in season 1, Misty, aside from Natalie, barely interacted
with any of them.
In the present day.
Correct.
So Misty is now
just had her bird, and that was it.
Yeah, and we didn't see Caligula this episode.
Yeah, but they were gonna clean the cage, so that's true. He's still there.
Yes. I wonder if it's harder to shoot with the bird, so they were just like, let's not show the bird. So back then in the 90s, Misty talking about there was such grace to how Coach Scott and I ended things.
She's insane.
Yes. Natalie sees the rabbit trap that Coach Scott set and is trying to convince Misty to go the other way. Misty sees the trap. Natalie says, no, this is one of ours. But yeah, Natalie obviously...
Misty's not stupid, yeah.
Yeah, but Natalie is very much covering for Coach Scott.
In an obvious way, too.
Yeah. So, I don't know. I mean, this is all going to come to a head. I think I know where the series is headed. I think.
I don't.
Well, remember in the original series description, we're going back to like OG series 1 fall of 2021. There was talk about how the girls descend into 2 warring tribes with one another. And I think that Mari hanging out with, even though right now they're not like friendly, but I think Mari and Coach Scott and having that secret location is the start of that. Is the start of Tribe 2.
Okay.
Like I think there's a schism. We cut back to present day, and Callie is in her bedroom looking at the tape. Okay, I just looked at this. That is a DAT tape. I don't know if they're gonna say it's a videotape, but that is someone who owns 100 of these. That prop is a digital audio tape.
Yes, you will know.
Much harder to get that than it is to get a mini DV player right now. You can get them, but Callie's gonna have to go to some audio specialty like a studio or going to have to order something that's like $400 or $500.
That's too much work. I'd rather just not find out the mystery. I'm not doing all that. Like, no, that's a bad blackmailer. Apologies, everybody, for my dog in the background.
Yeah, if you're gonna blackmail someone, make it accessible.
Yeah, like, am I supposed to figure this out? No, that's too much work.
Yeah, so
especially something like that. Like, it's not even like you enter a scavenger hunt. You enter something where the device to play it is very hard to find.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It's like I sent you some critical information, but it is on a zip disk from 1995. So if you could find a zip disk drive, perhaps you could access this critical information I need you to access.
I'm not doing all that. I'll be okay.
Yes.
I survived this long without knowing that info. I think I can live the rest of my life knowing it.
Issa, I have some critically important information for you. I've encoded it on an 8-track tape. So if you could just find an 8-track player, perhaps in like an
old car,
like an El Camino, perhaps with an 8-track player, you could drive around and listen to this critical information I need you to hear that we need to discuss.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Issa, I have something very important for you, and because I want to preserve it, I've put it on Laserdisc. So if you could just find somebody that has a home theater setup from 1993, perhaps you can access this Laserdisc. You have to flip it over after 30 minutes because it only holds so much information on one side, but it has critical. Issa, for your birthday, I've got something special for you. I've put it on a hit clip. So if you can find a hit clip player.
Yo, I love those. I'm telling you, that's bad blackmail, but okay.
Yeah, a hit clip. I think that would probably be the.
I can probably find that.
You could probably find a hit clip. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're gonna look. We're gonna figure out the best obscure media, for all these things. They're gonna release a box set of Yellowjackets, and they're gonna release it on HD DVD, not Blu-ray, but HD, the failed format.
VCR.
Yeah, Betamax. On Betamax.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is the key. Betamax was better quality than VHS. It's just VHS was more widespread. That's why it won. But anyhow, so Lottie wants to talk to Callie. Misty comes in, puts a stop to that. They're going to go alphabetize the pantry while Callie.
Who does that?
Their homework. Van and Ty are out in the woods in 96 yelling for Mari. And the fans are yelling, "You're piggy piggy." It's like, good Lord. Van's just gotta, Ty thinks she might be dead.
Mm-hmm.
This is stressful, but I like that everybody, I like there's a little distrust about this with Natalie, sending out people looking for Coach. Van's like, well, who else? Or Ty's like, who else could have burned it down?
Right.
And I think that Van, other Ty, Dark Ty, we haven't seen really directly referenced in a while. Like,
right.
Maybe Dark Ty burned down the cabin.
Ooh, I like that. She also killed the waiter.
Well, not directly. It just
with her evil powers.
Yes. You know who else I think could have lit the cabin on fire based on all this? I think Shauna. Remember, Shauna thought that her baby was born healthy and they ate her baby?
Yes.
Shauna could have burned down the cabin.
Agreed. I like that. That's who I originally thought. Just because of everything that she's going through and how much she hates everybody right now. I can see her doing that.
So Travis is tripping, literally, in the woods, and he's hearing the voices. And Lottie is trying to figure out what's going on. Travis is saying it's trying to get inside me. Natalie's like, it doesn't want to hurt you. Then Travis starts like straight up choking Lottie, which is scary. But he's possessed by the spirit. This is not going well, Lottie having Travis trip out.
Right.
And Van and Ty come into this and stop it.
Mm-hmm.
If the movie Ghost taught me anything, it's that being a medium for the spirits, not all a picnic, not all a walk in the park, not all it's.
I wouldn't want to do it. I wouldn't want to do it.
It's too much. I think, and clearly Oda Mae Brown, regretted the access that and what she had to go through.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't be a medium. Besides, I feel like the majority of them are full of crap.
Well, and that's in the ghost.
Like, how do you know he's a medium right now? He's just high.
That's true. Well, no, but they all heard the voice. They all heard the voices and the
They're
noises.
all crazy though.
Oh, that's true. So Ty shows up at the restaurant. She's trying to pay the bill.
In cash. Smart girl.
Cash. Yeah, she sees the candles and realizes the waiter's dead. Grabs the matchbook, is looking at that, looks at puts two and two together, hears that the waiter passed away, grabs her credit card, and gets the F out of there.
Yeah, they kind of figure it out. They said he had the heart attack outside. They knew he was chasing after someone, and she's out here to pay a bill. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I feel like Law and Order. I feel like on Law and Order, like McCoy would have prosecuted that. That's like depraved
1000%.
Indifference, second-degree murder, at least.
She should have known as soon as the lady that was trying to help her said, "I gotta figure it out. I'm just filling in tonight." Who are you filling in for? But then she turned around, saw the picture, so they put it together. But you should have picked up immediately.
Okay, so if you're alphabetizing a pantry, does mac and cheese go under M for macaroni or P for pasta? It goes under
M. That's not real pasta. It's under M.
I mean, it is elbow pasta technically, or maybe
it's under M.
Do you like macaroni and cheese, or do you like shells and cheese?
Macaroni and cheese.
I'm a shells guy. I like some shells and cheese. I think the shells hold the cheese better.
Oh, that's a valid point.
Because the macaroni, even though it's tubes of pasta, the cheese doesn't go inside the little tubes. It's too narrow.
If you're talking about like the crafts boxes, you have to buy 2 boxes but only make 1. Just use it for the 2 cheese. If you put more cheese, then it really gets everywhere.
Wait, you put 2 cheese packets in a single serving?
Back when I ate mac and cheese, yeah, I wanted it cheesy.
Now, Issa, I'm not judging because you can't judge. But do you think perhaps this led to some of the digestion issues that you've had?
No, because I ate mac and cheese like once a year.
Yeah, but with 2 packs, that's insane. Like,
you're acting like I ate a whole box of it by myself.
Okay, wait, you don't? Because I thought that was the way to eat Kraft mac and cheese.
No, who eats a whole? Wait, you eat the whole box? I couldn't eat the whole box.
I'll tell you this. Okay, so Kraft came out with a plant-based, a vegan version of the mac and cheese. And when I make that, like all of the mac and cheese fits in one bowl, like in one cereal-sized bowl.
Yeah, no, I just have 1 serving of it.
Okay. 1 serving. Wow. Are you a
yeah.
Okay, that's good. I respect that about you. That's nice. It's good to measure these things.
Just a cup, like a little spoonful, and that's it. You shouldn't be eating more than that. But did I make it extra cheesy? Yeah. And no, the 4 cheese box is not the same. That cheese is gross. It's not the same thing.
Okay, now here's the other question. When you do 2 packets of cheese, do you double the milk and butter?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you can't put all that cheese. Then it gets too sticky and it's unedible.
I don't know. You're living crazy.
You're just trying to give a recipe because you're gonna go and try it, and you are.
Maybe I will. So they're talking about Misty and Lottie are talking about what happened about Natalie's death. Misty is pointing out they have the allergy medication in with the spices. Oh, what could that foretell?
And the dog antibiotics from 2012.
But yes, Misty is saying she is angry with Lottie and everything that happened.
As she should be.
Yeah, I feel like the cult, not the best presence, not the most positive force. Callie's eavesdropping and wants to hang out with them and wants to turn this into a sleepover.
I love that. Misty's never been to a sleepover.
Yeah, she is curious about the science behind light as a feather, stiff as a board.
There is none to it, but we all play it during sleepovers. It's a part of the routines.
And as a callback to Malibu and Milk, rum milk punch.
Yep.
I mean, I tried Malibu and I think it was oat milk on this very podcast back in season 1. It was okay. But rum milk punch makes it sound a little more festive.
It wasn't your favorite. No, I love Malibu. Everybody that knows me knows that.
Loves Malibu. I'm just saying with milk, I just didn't think it was the best mix of flavors, which is weird because like a lava flow is very creamy.
Right.
You know, but Misty has never been to a sleepover technically.
That made me so sad for her.
It is sad.
It's supposed to, but I mean, she didn't grow up the normal way though, so.
Yeah, I get it. So, but Callie's playing into this, and of course, Lottie wants to hang out with Callie because they showed in the previously on about, Lottie loved how powerful Callie seemed at the end of season 2. So, again, this is peak sitcom. Yellowjackets here.
Yes.
Yeah, wonderful. And it looks like a fun night.
They have their little face paint on. I mean, yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, it looks much more fun than what Shauna and Jeff are up to. Hanging out with hotel bros.
Shauna was having a great time.
She was on her phone, and they called her out for being on her phone.
Who are they? Also, I don't understand why Jeff wanted to. Maybe it was to help with his nerves or whatever, but it didn't feel like the dinner she needed to be at.
Yes. I think it would have gone better without her there.
Yeah.
But you were meant to hate both of these guys.
Mm-hmm.
And you do hate both of these guys. Wait, you didn't hate them?
I didn't hate them. No, they're just business people.
They asked if the furniture F's, Issa.
I guess I dealt with a lot of these bros back in my corporate days. So you just you completely ignore what they say and just get the contract signed. That's all you care about.
I love that they say we want to order some tapas. The waitress says all of them, and they're like, no, just the ceviche.
Yeah.
Here's my dream. Have I told you about this?
What?
Here's what I want at a restaurant. Because I go to a lot of vegan restaurants. I've been vegan 20 plus years now. I love like Crossroads Kitchen in Vegas. There's a lot of places with good vegan entrees. A lot of vegan tapas places. I wish there was a way I could just order 2 bites of everything.
Yeah.
That is my dream. But if you have a bunch of people, yes, I like pull the power move and say, give me the wheel.
Yeah, so everybody can just pick.
Give me one of everything.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, I've decided at Crossroads Kitchen that the appetizers are so good and the entrees are just okay. That in fact, I would recommend at Crossroads Kitchen, just get one of every appetizer. You will be so much happier with your choices in life. But yes, so the Joels are not impressed by them just ordering the ceviche at what is supposedly their tapas spot.
Right.
Jeff and Shauna's.
The Joels.
The Joels. They should have gotten one of everything.
Agreed.
And the guy calls out phones at the table. So Shauna is like, really? Okay, I gotta go. I gotta step away.
She wanted to check in on to make sure that Misty was doing her job.
Yes. Like, okay, so we cut back to the slumber party, and we've got Misty in a tiger mask.
Yeah.
Face mask. Lottie's in a panda mask face mask. Callie just has strips under her eyes. I almost wore the little gold strips on the under eyes for this podcast today because I thought
those are the best. Those are the best. I do them often.
I got a pedicure.
Ooh.
Well, I've been getting them exclusively now for a year. That's all I do. I haven't touched my feet otherwise.
I get them every 2 weeks.
And they, you know how they try and upsell you on everything. And they were like, oh, do you want to add the under eye therapy? And I was like, oh, what fancy thing is this going to be that I'm paying $40 for?
No, they just gave you the thing.
They just gave me the same strips I get off Amazon for $1.
Yes.
Could not believe it. So pissed.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah. Not worth it at spa day. Anyhow, Misty not loving the rum punch. Callie says, hey, there's some grenadine in there. Goes in, sees the allergy medicine in the grenadine, and fixes Misty a special cocktail.
With PM allergy medicine.
Yes, to knock her out. But before that, they're going to play Truth or Dare.
Truth or Dare, which Lottie was game for. Misty didn't want to play it.
Yes. Callie wants to know what really happened. Did you all eat each other? And both Misty and Lottie are in denial. So clearly, and I'm sure we will see this in a later episode, there was a very hardcore teenage pact in the 90s that no matter how mad we are at each other, no matter how much we don't like each other, no matter
we don't tell what happened out there.
We never reveal that this happened in the woods.
Correct.
And Callie
I
wants to
love
know
how they turned it around on Callie too, because at one point they were like, "You're in suspension. What you get in trouble for?" Like they were also trying to get some info from Callie. This was great. It really felt like friends hanging out. They were like, "Why would you want to have a sleepover with a bunch of boring adults?" But it ended up. I love this portion of the show.
Yeah, and I love that Callie dares Misty to chug it. Misty doesn't want to do it, and Callie's like, "Oh, I didn't know you were going to get all lame on us."
Yeah.
And that works for Misty.
No, but there was something else that they told her to do, and then she was like, "No, okay, fine, I'll
go
chug
slash
it."
your dad's tires.
Yeah, and she was like, "Okay, fine, I'll chug it."
But it's good to know that Misty, much like Marty McFly in the revised future of Back to the Futures 2 and 3, that if you call Misty chicken, she'll do anything.
Yeah. I didn't know you were gonna get all lame on us.
Yes. And that still bothers me about Back to the Future 2 and 3, because in Back to the Future 1, there was no sign that Marty cared about being called chicken, that was his Achilles heel. But you know what? It occurred to me, Issa, again, 40 years after the fact, Marty changed the future. His family was poor when he went back in time. He came back and his family was well-to-do. And when he came back in that new timeline where he grew up as a little bit of a rich kid or a well-off kid, if you called him chicken, his personality changed based on the events of the first movie. And now I see Back to the Future 2 and 3 in an entirely different light.
That's interesting. I never thought about it that way.
I mean, that's the only way it makes sense, because quite frankly, it really seems wedged in there if you don't take that into account.
I haven't watched Back to the Future in way too long.
Just turn on any TV ever, and I guarantee you the trilogy is playing in a marathon on some channel right now.
I wouldn't stop by.
Yes, I'm basic cable. It is always there. So yeah, Callie's trying to figure out what happened. And Missy's like, "Oh, what? We survived a plane crash only to end up eating each other." Callie's like, "How could you not have ended up doing that to survive?" It's very interesting, but I love Lottie saying, "Oh no, I promise you, it wasn't at all like people say. This didn't happen."
Yeah, but she says that people have been saying this for years, so I'm pretty sure you've thought about it. And Callie's like, "Yeah, I've thought about it." This was great interaction between. I love that they were treating Callie like a young adult that understands and is not stupid. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
At least Lottie was. Misty, I don't know what Misty was doing other than being lame.
So Misty passes out, and Lottie's
immediately
Callie,
style.
Callie, why aren't you more concerned about this? But Lottie is happy they're going to get some quality time now. Cut back to 96. Coach Ben has lowered a rope and is pulling Lottie up out of the pit. And this is really interesting that, I thought he was going to trust her right off.
No, he's not.
Why he gets up, knocks her right back down, ties her up a little bit, puts a blindfold on her, and is like, "Okay, I'm leading you to where I am, but I do not trust you yet, girl."
Yep.
I
don't blame him. Trust nobody.
No, it makes sense. And she's rightfully scared. But yeah, the thing about them thinking he burned the cabin down and that he's out to get them, they need to work on their trust. Maybe they should do some trust falls.
I hate trust falls. I can never do a trust fall.
Really?
My nephew tried to get me to do one, and my nephew's like one of the humans I love the most, and I couldn't do it.
Well, you don't trust anybody, Issa.
No, I don't.
Except your dog, but he can't catch
but he couldn't catch me, so I wouldn't do a trust fall with him either.
I get you. You've got issues. It makes sense. Okay, so he leads her back.
Wow. I'm differently saying, Glenn.
No, we all have issues. I mean, I don't know that if it was like 2 or 3 people, I'd be like, yeah, they're going to catch me. But if it was one person, I'm like, I'm not sure you can support my weight. I don't know about this, best intentions, but I don't know. So Ty stumbles upon a Spanish church. I'm still doing Duolingo 2 years later. And so I picked
How many days in a row do you have? What's your streak?
I've got a 750-day streak.
Damn, I'm only at 100 and something. I'm learning Italian.
Oh, nice. But I picked up Siempre and Personas. I got some of what he was throwing down.
Good work.
So out back, there's some candles. There's a statue. And in tribute, Ty is going to light the matchbook from the restaurant and turn the waiter into a sacrifice.
At least he's not a dog.
It's true. I was watching a movie the other night that Reddit recommended. And I'd never seen this movie from 2005, and we're certainly not going to spoil it here if you have, but I watched The Skeleton Key.
Oh, I love that movie.
Kate Hudson.
Yeah, I've seen that movie a lot of times.
Yeah, holy shit. Like, okay.
You never seen it?
No, and it's kind of...
It's so good.
Well, it's kind of boring, and then it's kind of silly, but then when you get to the third act, it's like, oh no, this is phenomenal.
Yeah. Yes.
Like, it's such a good movie by the time you get to the
end.
I
had the same experience the first time I watched it, and on rewatch, it gets better. Once you know, it gets better.
But I was thinking about that when the scene with Ty. I was like, aha, now it all makes more sense.
She's sacrificing to keep herself in power. Yeah.
Yeah, I get it. To get what she wants. So Shauna's in the bathroom at the restaurant. She sees footsteps outside the stall. Always weird.
The bathroom lady.
The bathroom. Can we not call her that? She sees footsteps, and then the lights go out. And Shauna goes right into attack mode, got the keys in the fist, got the flashlight on her phone, and she's coming out there in the dark, ready to like stab punch somebody.
Love that. Always ready.
Always ready.
Stay ready. You know what I mean? You stay ready. You don't get ready, you stay ready.
True. She is on alert. She's been through some shit. And then she hears the phone ring in the other stall. And what are they playing? But one of my favorite songs of all time, Juice Newton's Queen of Hearts. Queen of Hearts also tying into the woods.
Yes.
In the card. And, I'm convinced if you were a child in the late 70s and early 80s when Queen of Hearts came out and you were like a little kid, that was probably like your favorite song at the time. I think that, that's just because that was such a great song. And it certainly was my favorite song when I was like 5 years old. So no caller ID, called the phone. The background is the woods. Shauna looks concerned about this. But it's interesting that she doesn't keep the phone. Did you think it was weird that she turned it into Lost and Found? Because I think she knows this was meant for her. So I'm actually really
I thought that
shocked.
was so weird, especially later when she's having issues figuring out what happened to the phone. I was like, well, you should have never turned that in.
Comes back out to the Joel's asking Jeff, if his stock Fs and, his credenzas are a regular F fest. So.
Yes.
Shauna gives the phone to the bartender, says, I found this in the restroom.
Mm-hmm.
In case someone comes looking for it. And then sits down with the Joels and Jeff. And they make it pretty clear that they think they'd be doing him a favor by giving him the contract. And it seems like they're not going to do it. And then Shauna just
turns into a badass bee. I love this.
Yeah, it's really weird. They're saying they love that Jeff self-made just like them. And she's like, wait, your dad was a realtor and you're a realtor? God, what a coincidence that you were both self-made realtors.
I love when she said, you don't deserve his furniture. Ah, so good.
Yeah. This was uncomfortable, but necessary for her to own it. And basically, she tells them like, you don't matter in all of this, and calls him a painful little boner. Gets up and walks out, and Jeff follows her. Mm-hmm. I like these moments of solidarity in their marriage.
Me too. They have each other's back.
Yeah, it's nice. When push comes to shove. Yes.
Right.
Back in 96, Akilah is asking Travis if he wants to hold one of the ducks she's raising.
Clearly an emotional support animal.
Yeah, Mortimer, the emotional support duck.
Mm-hmm. I love that.
This was nice. Poor Travis.
And he helped Travis.
Remember, Travis lost his father, lost his brother. Natalie lied to him about his brother being dead. His brother was alive, and then he lost him all over again. Like, Travis is not having an easy go. This is not the best summer ever for Travis.
Feel bad. I feel bad.
Yeah.
And now he's hearing voices.
Yeah. Like Randy Orton. They're in his head. But they don't counsel him and understand. They terrify him. That's the key difference. And Lottie is saying, we need you and we need to keep it happy. And this is interesting that Travis is saying the voices told me it didn't want me.
Because he's not there yet.
Well, and
there's somebody else that's more connected with
I know. Yep. And then he looks over at Akilah saying, that's why the animals trust her. I'm worried about Akilah. This can't be good for Akilah.
Right.
This ain't good.
Not at all.
No.
We'll see what happens.
I know. Scary times. But he's just sitting there holding Mortimer.
That's all that matters.
Together.
Nothing that you cannot get through without an emotional support dog.
Yes. Natalie and Misty get back saying, well, we did good today. We'll try again. Shauna.
And Misty immediately just snitches.
Yeah. Yes, as I think Natalie knows where Coach Scott is.
Yeah, and Shauna was like, you tell anybody this? And she's like, nope. And Shauna still treats her like crap, even though, she's invested in the information she was given.
And tells her not to tell anyone else.
Right.
It's very complicated. I feel like there's a lot going on here.
Yes.
So then we cut back to present day. They're watching reality TV. What was this show?
Yeah, they're like, it was like one of the Housewife or Bad Girl Club or something.
Yeah, but what was it called though? I think we got I thought we had a title card on this, or am I imagining that? But it was like Repo Divorces or Repo Divorces.
Oh, is that what it was? To me, it gave me like Real Housewife vibes.
Well, I think the idea is they're divorced and they were like repossessing items. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see if they label this. But yeah, I think it's Repo Divorces.
Okay. Interesting. That should exist.
It should. I would watch that show, and I'm not a big reality TV guy. So she's braiding. Callie is braiding Lottie's hair, and they're watching.
They're just best friends now. They're best friends.
Lottie eats her popcorn one piece at a time, Isa.
I don't eat popcorn, so I don't know.
People give me a hard time because I eat popcorn with chopsticks because it makes it last longer, and you eat it one piece at a time. Most people are shovel people when it comes to popcorn. They like big handfuls. I like one piece at a time to make the snack last for a while,
But is the chopstick necessary? You just can't grab one?
No, because here's the reason why the chopsticks are necessary. One, it prevents you from overdoing it. Two, you know this. Any woman that does her nails knows this. You don't want to get grease all over your fingers. I don't like the greasy finger feeling. I mean, I just have basic nails. I get pedicures, not manicures. But I hate the feeling of greasy fingers from potato chips or popcorn. So I eat potato chips and popcorn with chopsticks. And it's good also if you're watching your...
You know what? You're right. Because I have I like to pick up my, I hate eating anything like Cheetos or Doritos. I don't eat those just because of the, it's gross.
Get some chopsticks though.
I'd rather just stay not eating them.
Well, and it's good also because if you're on a diet and you're eating popcorn, you want to make it last. Popcorn's a relatively low calorie snack, but not if you just scarf it all down in 5 minutes. Chopsticks, right. I can make a bowl of popcorn last an hour to 45 minutes with chopsticks, one piece at a time. So Lottie,
I love that for you.
I feel you, Lottie. I get it. And a recommendation for our listeners out there: if you want to, make popcorn last, try chopsticks and try it for chips and Cheetos. It'll be good. You won't get your fingers all messy. So Misty barfs all over the island in Jeff and Shauna's kitchen. And it's pink. Yes. It looks like ectoplasm from Ghostbusters. That's happy.
It's the PM medication, that Benadryl PM she gave her.
Yes. And Shauna's saying, do you have a drinking problem? Shauna is back. Van says she was in urgent care the entire time. Doctor said just ice and raise your foot. But we know where this is leading, right? Like, do we even need to have them say Van's in remission on the cancer?
No, did you not see all the stuff that she had in her hand and all that? So, I don't know. We'll see where it goes, but there's more to it. Definitely more to it.
Yeah, Van seems in a pretty okay mood.
Yeah.
For someone that's been in urgent care all day.
All day.
Yeah. It's interesting where this is all going, but I like that she is not telling Van about the waiter.
About the waiter, yeah. Thaisa's always gonna keep her secrets. Even now that she's with Van, somebody that you think she trusts a lot more than Simone, she still doesn't tell her all the way what's really going on.
I think Van would feel really bad if she knew, and she would be stressed.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I love that Ty and Van are back together, it seems. Like, this is good. This is happening, you know?
Me too. She should probably get a divorce.
I mean, maybe. Who knows? Who knows what's going on in Ty's mind? And we haven't seen other Ty yet.
Right. So. We'll see her. She killed the waiter, so.
That's true. So Walter is fixing Caligula's cage after cleaning it.
What an angel.
Comes back. She's still a little tore up from the milk rum punch. Why do you smell like coconut?
So good.
But man, Walter just really screws this up here because Misty is high on her sleepover that she just had. It was amazing. And Walter then starts like dissing her friends.
For no reason. He needs to learn to accept her with her friends and the way she is.
Yeah. I worry about them.
They're going to be okay.
I mean, she kicks him out, but...
They're going to be okay.
I think so. You don't get rid of Elijah Wood. He's a delight.
I will get rid of him.
Frodo?
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I think I like his character. I like the actor.
Me too. No, I'm just saying in general, like as if I'm Misty, I would also kick him out for talking crap about my friends.
But it is weird though that she drove.
Yeah, that's true. But you know.
Yeah. And I like that she says, stop air quoting my friends. This was good. But yeah, it's amazing though that it is true that the things you hate about other people are things you hate about yourself. And that is very much, she's saying you spy on me, you hover, like you overdo it with me. Like,
but she also throws in his face that he has no friends and he's jealous that she does.
Yeah. But it is true. We hate the things we hate about ourselves that we see in other people.
Interesting.
Yes, it is interesting. Yeah, maybe we shouldn't even be together. Oh my God. If somebody starts saying that in a relationship, like it's code red, right? And he kicks her out.
Yeah. Or maybe she wants attention. You never know. Girls are weird.
She wants him like Lloyd Dobber style, like in a boombox on the lawn.
Yes.
You know? Yeah. She wants like a grand gesture. Okay, so we're back in the cave, for lack of a better word. I don't even know what this is. I guess it's a cave technically. Where Ben is talking to Mari. Mari's like, hey, we're not eating each other anymore. Akila's raising ducks.
Yeah, everything's going
Jen's
well.
been hunting. Yeah, things have been good. Things are on the upswing. No more cannibalism.
Right.
And telling Coach Ben like they're going to come looking for me, and I'm going to tell them how you set this Silence of the Lambs trap in the woods. Took me prisoner.
She immediately like stopped trusting him again.
But what I love is he gives her hot chocolate, and then much like exactly what Jackie said when she entered the afterlife, Mari says, hot chocolate, how did you even get this?
Yes.
Which is eerie, a little foreshadowing there. But you could see as she's drinking it, she's just like, maybe he's an all right dude. Maybe I should trust him.
Right.
And I'm thinking some good hot chocolate. I'd give someone the benefit of the doubt.
Me too. I'm a hot chocolate fanatic. So that will probably get me to at least be a little flexible.
Yeah, because you think everyone is sus. But if they're giving you hot chocolate, he says like, well, maybe I should hear out what they have to say. It
depends on where the hot chocolate is from. There's some places that have terrible hot chocolate.
It has to be good hot chocolate.
Mindy's, that CM Punk's favorite place, their hot chocolate is terrible. Don't give me hot chocolate from there. I'll still think you're sus.
But Mari's moment of trust and weakness gets broken instantly as Ben is around the corner and talking to someone and saying, quiet, just let me think. And is this the she that Javi was referred to when
the others?
Javi was talking about his friend, and she told me not to come back.
The bathroom lady.
The bathroom lady. Is it the bathroom lady in the cave?
Possibly.
I thought it was a spirit, maybe a cab. Well, someone connected to Cabin Daddy, some spirit. Maybe it's Laura Lee, the ghost of Laura Lee.
Oh, I miss her so much.
I know. We'll find out. But this is interesting. But this is what I'm telling you about the tribes, about the two tribes. I think this is the start. Yeah. Of much like Frankie Goes to Hollywood said.
I forgot about the whole two tribes hypnosis. You really are onto something. This makes me think about it differently.
Yeah, but I think that this is now the HQ for Tribe 2.
Right.
And we'll see.
The HQ. they're so corporate now in the wilderness.
Yes, they are. They name their conference rooms and everything.
I love that.
You love when people name their conference rooms.
I created a whole floor. It was a floor just conference rooms. There was 9 of them to name.
Okay.
I came up with all the names.
What were they named after?
I named it. It was in New York, so I named it after New York landmarks.
Okay.
So I had the Chrysler,
Yeah, that's good. That's good. Like the Chrysler building. That's good.
Mm-hmm.
But I think this is the start of that. But Mari and Coach, we'll see what happens. It's a little weird. It's a little weird that he kind of kidnapped her, but much like Beauty and the Beast, he's trying to earn her trust.
Yeah, but the way that you're putting it, I'm very curious to see where it goes, because this might be the start of a whole different side.
Yeah. Back in the present, Jeff and Shauna are hanging out, and Jeff is mad at Shauna, but I think it's a little unfair because it's very clear that those dudes were not going to buy his furniture.
Yeah, they were just being douchebags.
And by the way, given the type of guys they are, I actually think him showing up alone and maybe trash talking his wife a little bit and trying to bro down with them actually would have gone better.
Right.
For him.
Right.
And they look at okay, this is terrible sitcom humor. But I want to see the next day where they're like, Jeff, what was that last night? And by the way, we didn't say we want to go to a tapas restaurant. We want to go to a topless restaurant, a topless bar. And you took us to a tapas bar. And you're
with your wife.
Yeah. And they're like, what the hell, bro? I thought
that's
this was
actually
a
funny.
dude's thing. Yeah, I know. But that's...
I thought it was a dude's thing too. Once they were sitting there, I was like, why did he bring her? This seems like something he should have negotiated on his own.
Yeah, it's it was a little out of place. But we do get from this that Shauna calls the restaurant and asks the bartender about the phone. Someone picked up the phone. Shauna wants to know what she looked like. The guy won't really tell her. And then Shauna very quietly says, can I speak to your manager, please?
Because we're going back to what they said earlier. You have, can I speak to your manager energy, and she didn't want them to hear her. So good. So good.
We then go back to the secret gravesite that Shauna has, and she sees flowers on there.
Mm-hmm.
Someone is watching her. She pulls out her knife, and then we see it is Melissa, who we learned had a personality in the last episode. I was trying to buddy up to
We're about to learn a lot more.
About to learn a lot more. And as Shauna in 96 is very angry at this, that Melissa has found her secret spot.
Mm-hmm.
Goes up to her and goes to threaten her with the knife and gets right up in her face. And then as present day Shauna is asking, what the woman looks like and hearing the description, we then go back to 96 and Melissa about to potentially be knifed by Shauna. Explaining that she was trying to keep an eye on her. As the last resort starts kissing Shauna, and then Shauna, surprised at first, starts kissing her back. We hear present day Shauna hearing the description of who returned the phone, and we must certainly assume that it is the adult version of Melissa in present day, who Shauna, we now learn, had a thing with in the wilderness.
So
and
good.
We end the episode.
A great cliffhanger, because I'm already like, you can't leave me there. But yeah, that's what I'm assuming. That's who the bathroom lady is.
We gotta stop calling her that.
I know, but I'm so excited. The kissing, it was unexpected. She did she even say any words in the first 2 seasons, and then she just comes at you in the first 2 episodes, boom,
Yeah. No, she was part of that.
No, I know. I'm just being sarcastic, Glenn.
No, I'm trying to think. Because she was Mari was kind of like that in season 1. Mari didn't do very much, but Mari spoke a little bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, absolutely. We got much, much more of her in this episode. She said more in this episode than she did the entire series to date. But yeah, it's Shauna's threatening to kill her, got a knife to her. It is not good. And then you see the look on Melanie Linsky's face in the present day. And you can tell there's absolutely something that was there between them in the woods.
And I can't wait to find out more. And that's where they leave us, with a nice cliffhanger.
Yellowjackets fandom, given Shauna and Jackie's relationship, Yellowjackets fandom is thrilled that Shauna is now confirmed bisexual.
Yes. I always knew it.
Yeah, I mean, with her and Jackie, it was that kind of like we're friends, but there's something else there.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And this is cool. This is a cool development, and we get Bikini Kill's Rebel Girl taking us out over the credits. But man, I feel like so much happened in this episode, and now, okay, so let's just break down some of the theories and speculation here, because people are assuming Hilary Swank plays the adult version of Melissa. Maybe, like, kind of buy it, but also kind of don't, because we saw Hilary Swank in the 90s, even going back to like the next Karate Kid.
Right, she didn't look like that.
And Camp Wilder, like, didn't really look like Melissa.
And they've done a good job at making the adults look like their younger versions.
Reasonably. Yeah.
Right.
Certainly of the original core four. I think Lauren Ambrose is crushing it as Van, but Lauren Ambrose does not is not like a one-to-one match. Like, there's a little more distance between her.
Right.
And Teen Van, and there's a little more distance between adult Lottie and teen Lottie.
I don't think I look anything like my younger self.
Interesting.
So they don't have
we should find photos of ourselves from the 90s for the next.
Oh, that'll be fun. Okay, I'll try to find some
so we can compare. I've actually got some on my desktop. So we'll look at that next week.
We'll do it next week. Yeah, but listen, overall thoughts. I loved the first 2 episodes. They reeled me right back in. I love the cliffhanger. I feel like they didn't miss a beat, and I'm just as intrigued as I've ever been.
I'm gonna say that if they're doing a little bit of a soft reset in season 3, I think it's good. I think season 2 got a little too off the rails at some parts in ways that were just a little far-fetched, even for this show.
Agreed.
And certainly dark in a not fun way. Like the 90s in season 2 were very dark. I mean, we had the loss of Shauna's child. We had them resorting to cannibalism. We had the dead mouse.
Yeah, but season 1 and now so far this season, like, does have a little bit of humor in between the darkness, where season 2 didn't. There was a disconnect. We'll see how this season ends, but yeah, I definitely prefer season 1 over season 2. Let's see where this one ranks.
Yeah, and I think this definitely had a little more of season 1 energy.
Yes.
For the start of season 3. But I don't know. I think Hilary Swank being Melissa makes sense. Some people are speculating, oh, maybe it's like the sibling. And I'm like, that seems a little kind of soap opera in a not great way.
She could be a whole new character that doesn't have anything to do with the past.
We could have a different adult Melissa, maybe, that surprises us, that someone we're not seeing. Actually, I hate to say this. If Cameron Diaz would be a very good adult Melissa.
Ooh, that's a good one. Yeah.
Like, the evolution is there. That, like,
yeah, I see it.
Like, I could see that. But yeah, Hilary Swank, just, it's not as close of a look match. But and age that would kind of work too, because Cameron Diaz was very young when she made The Mask, which was like 94, 95. Okay, so there's that, which I think is good. And certainly, but again, we're not seeing Hilary Swank next week or the week after, but I'm sure we'll get more clues. Maybe Callie will find a DAT player and we'll hear what's on the tape. We'll hear the voice, so we'll know what she sounds like. Maybe the next thing will be a hit clip. And then what will be funny is at the end of the hit clip, the message will cut off and it will be like bye NSYNC. Still on the original hit clip. But
or oops, I did it again.
Oops, I did it again, yes. All the finest of the hit clips. Also, minor complaint. We had all of season 2, we had 2 episodes in season 3. We got an update on Randy. What's going on with Allie? I feel like
Allie, your fave. That's right.
Allie's a fellow
if we don't get a dog update, no Allie update for you. We both need to get our updates.
Allie is a fellow survivor. They have a trauma bond. And I think Allie needs to make an appearance. That needs to happen.
Agreed. I agree.
But yeah, this is really good. And I'm really looking forward to covering the season with you. I think there's so many good directions this can go in. I love the energy of this season. But I'm telling everyone this. I want everyone to go back and rewatch parts of season 1, especially around the blackmailer, and see if there's any indication that Melissa, grown up, the woman that Melanie Linsky made that face when she was on the phone hearing the description, if there's any indication that's a possibility for who they think the blackmailer could be in season 1.
I've been wanting to go back and give it a rewatch, so maybe I'll get into it this week.
Cool.
Little bits at a time, you never know.
Well, there you have it. Well, hey, everybody, follow us on Instagram. Follow us on the Twitter. On Twitter, we're YellowJacketsBZ, YellowJacketsBuzz on Twitter. East NYC Demon Diva. That's Diva with a 1. I'm at Glenn Rubenstein on Twitter. I'm not calling it X. I'm just not doing it. And everybody, we thank you for tuning in. Hit us up with your theories, your ideas, and we'll be back here to cover episode 3 next week on Yellowjackets Buzz. Everybody, take care, and we'll see you back here on the show.